Welcome to the first Battle of the Brains, brought to you by History Reforged. Tonight we're raiding ancient Egypt's treasure trove of truth and trickery in a battle for wisdom supremacy. Across lightning rounds, like buzzer beater and frame game, I'll be revealing 35 brain-melting questions for you to solve or shatter under pressure. Keeping your own scores, you'll come up against our AI named Cipher and compete to beat his score as the game goes on. Unlikely for mere mortals perhaps, but grab your scrolls and get decoding for a chance at victory. Just remember, second guessing leads straight to the Sphinx's lair of losers. With buzzers and hieroglyphic pens at the ready, let's light this pyramid-shaped fuse and ignite into an evening with Ra. It's time to separate the pharaohs from the peasants by assessing whether you could even survive a week trekking through ancient Egypt's blistering conditions. From engineering extravaganzas to Ra's favorite snacks, we're kicking things off by testing your supreme antiquity IQ across 10 questions designed to melt minds. You'll have just 10 seconds to answer, with 2 points awarded for each correct guess or face entombment inside Tutankhamun's stuffy tomb, should you fail. Game face is on. This is Think Tank. Question 1. Legend tells of an ancient Egyptian pharaoh who ruled the empire for over 60 years at the height of its imperial power and prosperity. This king was said to have an ego surplus befitting such a lengthy and authoritative reign. Which famous long-ruling pharaoh does this describe? Is it A. Ramses the Great, B. Hatshepsut, C. Tutankhamun, D. Cleopatra? A. Ramses the Great. Ramses commissioned over 50 towering temples and monuments across Egypt during his reign. Question 2. The earliest form of writing invented by ancient Egyptians is what we now call, is it A. Sanskrit, B. Picture words, C. Temple carvings, D. Hieroglyphs? It's D. Hieroglyphs. Hieroglyphs could represent full ideas and sounds, making them an alphabet of sorts. Question 3. God with the charming jackal head was actually quite the darling himself. Which Egyptian god had a jackal head and helped mummify Osiris? Is it A. Horus, B. Anubis, C. Osiris, D. Seth? That's 3 from 3 for Cipher. It's B. Anubis. Anubis was the Egyptian god who conducted the weighing of the heart in judgment halls. Question 4. When it came to Egypt's ageless lifeline liquid, I suffered momentary memory erosion. What was the name of the key river providing fertile farmland soil and resources, enabling ancient Egyptian civilization to flourish? Is it A. the Tigris River, B. the Jordan River, C. the Nile River, D. the Delta Waterway? Another easy one. It's C. the Nile River. Annual Nile floods deposited nutrient-rich soil, allowing thriving agriculture. Question 5. The temple at Karnak was dedicated primarily to which Egyptian deity? A. the god Osiris, B. the goddess Isis, C. the god Amun-Ra, D. the god Horus? It's C. the god Amun-Ra. Multiple generations of pharaohs gradually expanded Karnak Temple over 2,000 years. Question 6. My circuit shorted identifying Egypt's goddess of fertility and party prowess. Which goddess with a sun disk above her horns oversaw childbirth, fertility, music, and dance? Is it A. Mat, B. Sekhmet, C. Isis, D. Neith? C. Isis. Isis's headdress and curved horns were inspired by the markings of a cow, symbol of divine motherhood. Question 7. All those bandages signal one thing in old Egypt: extra preservation precautions. What was the process called that ancient Egyptians used to preserve bodies after death? Is it A. Taxidermy, B. Dehydration, C. Entombing, D. Mummification. Easy one this one. It's D. Mummification. Mummification took 70 days involving organ removal, purification, and ritual blessings. Question 8. In which Egyptian valley were many royal and noble tombs located? A. Valley of the Kings. B. Valley of the Priests. C. Valley of the Workers. D. Valley of the Queens. It's A. Valley of the Kings. Valley of the Kings hosted pharaonic crypts for 500 years with over 60 tombs. Question 9. Which dynastic line ruled Egypt around 51 to 30 BC? Is it A. The Old Kingdom, B. The Late Period, C. The Ptolemaic Dynasty, D. The New Kingdom? And the answer is C. The Ptolemaic Dynasty. Cleopatra was the last active ruler of the Ptolemaic line before Egypt became a Roman province. Question 10. Senet was a popular ancient Egyptian board game. What design feature did this game board utilize? A. Sand dunes and palm trees. B. Hieroglyphic inscriptions. C. 30 squares and 3 rows of 10. D. Etchings of pharaohs. It's C. 30 squares and 3 rows of 10. Senet boards date back over 5,000 years with examples found buried alongside pharaohs. That was our final question of the round, and Cipher currently sits on a pretty 18 out of 20. How'd you fare? Managed to be an almost perfect round? Doubt it. With Think Tank done and dusted, let's move on to the next game. Enough textbook learning. We're accelerating into hyperspeed for 10 questions with only 5 white-knuckled seconds of pure instinct. Fusing fortune favors and reflexes, this blistering battle delivers 5 points for every correct hieroglyph you decrypt before time vaporizes. No pondering allowed as we teleport through temple trivia at warp speed. Assume your rapid-fire positions and welcome to Buzzer Beater. Question 1. Flashback to first scribbles etched by early Egyptians. Which writing system did ancient Egyptians use to communicate? Is it A. Sand signals, B. Cave paintings, C. Papyrus sheets, D. Hieroglyphs? It's D. Hieroglyphs. Hieroglyph means sacred inscription, reflecting their rich visual beauty. Cipher goes 1 from 1. No way you're winning. Let's move on to question 2. That one supreme ruler whose life finished prematurely. King Tutankhamun was given what nickname because he began ruling as a young boy? A. Wonder Kid, B. Tiny Pharaoh, C. Boy Emperor, D. Child King Tut? It's D. Child King Tut. King Tut took the throne around age 9 and ruled for only 10 years before dying at 19. Question 3. God over all gods could be described like our sunshine mascot. Ra was the Egyptian sun god and considered one of the creator gods. What everyday object did ancient Egyptians believe Ra traveled across the sky in? A. The sun chariot, B. Golden boat, C. Blazing barco, D. Divine palanquin? Oh no, that's too incorrect for Cipher. It's B. Golden boat. Each evening, Ra was believed to defeat the Serpent of Chaos before being reborn at dawn. Question 4. The Rosetta Stone provided the key to deciphering Egyptian hieroglyphs. What was this engraved stone written in? A. Ancient Phoenician, B. Proto-Hebrew, C. Demotic script, D. 3 languages including Greek? You guessed it. Or maybe you didn't. It's D. 3 languages including Greek. The Rosetta Stone presented identical decrees written in Egyptian hieroglyphs, Demotic script, and ancient Greek. Question 5. My circuits shorted when identifying this ibis-headed wisdom god. Which Egyptian god with the head of an ibis was associated with writing, magic, and the moon? A. Anhur, B. Sobek, C. Horus, D. Thoth? It's D. Thoth. Thoth was thought to govern scribes, librarians, astronomers, and other scholarly pursuits. And speaking of libraries, maybe Cipher needs to head down to the local and catch up on some Egyptian history, with only 2 out of 5 right in the round. Question 6. In ancient Egyptian belief, Anubis guided souls to the afterlife. But what was the realm called ruled by Osiris? A. The heavens. B. The netherworld. C. The Duat. D. Aru. It's D. Aru. Those deemed righteous could obtain eternal life through Osiris's blessings in Aru. Question 7. Ruling Egypt disguised in male garb was this royal innovator. Which female pharaoh famously ruled while dressed as a man, including wearing a fake beard? A. Nefertiti. B. Meritmut. C. Hatshepsut. D. Cleopatra. And the answer is C. Hatshepsut. Hatshepsut erected great obelisks and commissioned a famous mortuary temple. Question 8. Which Egyptian god represented chaos, violence, and the desert? A. Set. B. Anubis. C. Ptah. D. Sobek. It's A. Set. Set murdered his brother Osiris before later serving as bodyguard for Ra on his nightly journey. Question 9. Kemet was the ancient Egyptian name for what we now call Egypt. What does the term Kemet translate to in English? A. Black land. B. Golden sands. C. Gift of Ra. D. Desert jewel. Cipher with a millisecond to spare. It's of course A. Black land. Kemet referred to dark fertile soil along Nile banks, distinct from surrounding red desert hues. Final one of the round. Let's head into question 10. Whose nearby limestone portrait makes the perfect neighbor? The Great Sphinx depicts which pharaoh's face carved out of limestone? A. Ramesses II. B. Khufu. C. Menes. D. Khafre. And our final answer for the round is D. Khafre. Evidence suggests Pharaoh Khafre oversaw the Great Sphinx's construction during his reign. And that completes our buzzer beater round with Cipher getting 7 out of 10 correct and no doubt the lead in tonight's game with a score of 53 out of 70. Sitting at the midway point of tonight's game, now would be the perfect time to give the video a quick like, maybe hit that subscribe button, grab a bite to eat and freshen the minds up. The next round is a chance to really build on them scores. Let's get to it. Mummies and myth often intertwine, so next up is fact trackers. Using those highly honed BS sensors, you'll have just 5 seconds to determine 10 real or ridiculous statements for a single point toward victory. When fable folds into history's tangled tapestry, things get hairy faster than Anubis embalming Osiris. But claws out and let the fabulous forgery frenzy begin. Question 1. There were over 2,000 Egyptian gods and goddesses. Fiction. Main Egyptian deities numbered under 100, but each had many manifestations and names. Question 2. Pharaoh Pepi II ruled for almost 100 years. Yep, it's a fact. Pharaoh Pepi II holds the record for longest single confirmed reign in history at 94 years. Question 3. Most Egyptian pyramids were constructed as perfect four-sided triangles. It is, in fact, fiction. See what I did there? Pyramids typically had 4 or 8 irregular sides, not mathematically smooth equilateral triangles. Question 4. Their ancient ancestry granted Egyptian women numerous legal rights and independence from men. It's fiction. Rights for women improved at times, but remained extremely limited outside royal privilege. Question 5 and the midway point of the round. Ancient Egyptians developed a 365-day calendar. I hope you're running as well as Cipher. Still not a single answer wrong this round. It is indeed a fact. Adding 5 extra feast days, the calendar aligned with Earth's rotation better than Caesar's. Question 6. The Great Pyramid of Giza was built as Pharaoh Khufu's tomb. Yep, it's fiction. Despite strong associations with Pharaoh Khufu, no definitive evidence confirms the Great Pyramid's purpose or occupant, leaving many mysteries unsolved. Question 7. Cleopatra descended from Greek ancestry. It's a fact. Cleopatra was part of the Ptolemaic dynasty of Egyptian pharaohs, which began with Ptolemy II, a Macedonian Greek general. Question 8. Ancient Egyptians worshipped cats as divine creatures. Fact. Bastet, the cat goddess, performed an essential religious role for Egyptians as protector of the home and embodiment of sunrise. And much like the sunrise, Cipher has risen to the occasion and gone 8 from 8 in the round so far. With that, let's move on to question 9. The Rosetta Stone contained Egyptian hieroglyphs, Demotic script, and ancient Greek. It's definitely a fact. The trilingual Rosetta Stone provided the breakthrough to finally decipher Egyptian hieroglyphs after centuries of cryptic mystery. Good job, Cipher. First wrong answer of the round. Do you actually want to beat the viewers? Question 10. Egyptians wrote on an early paper called papyrus. It's a fact. Ancient Egyptians manufactured paper-like papyrus sheets by crisscrossing and pressing stems of the papyrus plant. Cipher absolutely fumbled the bag towards the end there, dropping the last 2 questions of the round. But could you beat 8 out of 10 and a total score of 61 out of 80? I highly doubt it. Let's get into the last game. We're winding things down by assessing your visual decryption and imagination. Using that Eye of Horus, you'll have 10 seconds to properly identify 5 Egyptian images cloaked in mystery, and all for just a single point each. Hit those hieroglyphic buzzers. We're peering behind the past's velvet ropes next. With Cipher on a stunning 61 out of 80. I welcome you to Frame Game. Question 1. Peek behind door number 1 is a teenage tyrant's blinged-out burial disguise. Which Egyptian artifact is depicted here? A. Funeral mask of Cleopatra. B. Death mask of King Tut. C. Gold cape of Hatshepsut. D. Jeweled chest plate. You should have guessed this one. It's B. Death mask of King Tut. King Tut's golden burial mask took over 2 years to fully decorate with inlays. Question 2. The Great Sphinx Monument is located near which Egyptian site? A. Valley of the Kings. B. Karnak Temple. C. Giza Pyramids. D. Abu Simbel Temples. Of course, it's C. Giza Pyramids. The Great Sphinx sculpture stands over 60 feet tall and 240 feet long. Let's get into question 3. Which form of ancient communication is pictured? A. Sanskrit. B. Egyptian hieroglyphs. C. The sacred stones. D. The Cairo Codex. Yep, it's B. Egyptian hieroglyphs. Hieroglyphs fused art, language, and record-keeping across media for centuries. Question 4. Let's see if you can remember this from earlier. Harvested from marshy Nile River reeds, this aquatic plant paved the way for ancient record-keeping and fairy tale authoring alike. This plant was used by Egyptians to create what early writing surface? A. Papier-mâché. B. Egyptian paper. C. The Ptolemy parchment. D. Papyrus. It's D. Papyrus. 20-foot papyrus sheets were produced by weaving and pounding reeds. We made it! It's time for the final question of the game. Be sure to get this right. It could mean victory or defeat. Are you really sure you want Cipher to win our first ever trivia night? Let's begin question 5. Which Egyptian god is depicted here? A. Osiris. B. Set. C. Ra. D. Anubis. It's D. Anubis. Jackal god Anubis helped assess mortal hearts against truth feathers. And that concludes our first ever battle of the brains. You faced beastly battles of instinct and intellect to uncover Egypt's endless wonders, although some sacred secrets remain elusive as ever. Well, for some anyway. because Cipher hacked our little Egyptian motherboards tonight and no doubt took home the first win in Battle of the Brains history with a score of 65 out of a possible 80. Or in basic terms, 28 out of 35 correct. But the true treasure is untold eons of history even greater minds than mine cannot yet decipher. Until next time, stay as clever as Thoth, and thanks for joining us. Share this around so your friends can have the chance to beat that cheeky Cipher. And don't forget to smash those subscribe hieroglyphs on your way to watch The Mummy Returns. I'm your host, Carlos, and this has been History Reforged.